This is one of my favorite moments of the film festival. This is when we talk to the directors to get a little bit more in depth about their films or their processes and stuff like that. So let's get into the question and answer sessions. Can you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your film.
I'm Oscar Spierenburg. I'm a Dutch filmmaker living in Belgium, and this film it's a film about it's set in the world of writing and publishing, and I'm always looking for a specific world.
My name is Mezhevich Yuriy. I'm a director and actor and screenwriter. My film, The First. It's a film based on the true stories, what happened in our region, Russia, on 1934.
Yeah, I'm Geoff. I'm the director of Daylight Follows. A little bit about the film that you've just seen. So obviously everyone's aware of the Second World War and the Holocaust. So we don't need to really delve into that so much. That's everyone's aware of that. So this film's more about friendship and human connection.
I always find it very interesting to actually discuss with the filmmaker, what's the genesis of the film? How did it come about?
This film, I first started working on what kind of character do I want and what can happen to him and what kind of environment is he in. So I built this story around a specific group of characters with their relation to each other, because for me that's more interesting, how the people relate to each other and their conflicts. And then the story I hope a story will follow because of them. So it should write itself a bit.
This is person, Mitrofan Nikitin, who made the first association attempt on mausoleum on Lenin's body. Yeah. Why he did it? Actually, I don't know, but I think it's political action, for tell about problem in country and region, but it steal secrets and silence for 60 years.
My good friend Paul Mortlock, who's actually the producer and DP of this film, he approached me and said, a friend of mine has been chatting with a lady, survivor of the Second World War, and she's got a fascinating story. And so he said, would you like to meet her? So I did, and interviewed her. And that kind of set off a snowball effect. So we started interviewing people all around Europe, and then we ended up in America.
For those of us who are technically involved in the filmmaking process, tell me, how long did it take you to shoot and edit the film?
The tough part of the independent filmmaking, it took a long time. So, and we were shooting, I think it was just before the pandemic. So then we got into the COVID pandemic, and that slowed down a lot of things. So it's quite...
I write a script when I was in Spain, and I came back to Russia, and I decided I have to do it now or never, because nobody knows what happens tomorrow. And I just called my friends and invited there, and they agreed, because they bothers these topics too.
Probably about 2 weeks worth of filming. So we traveled around Europe. We drove through Holland, Germany, and Poland to get all the B-roll and do some interviews. So I'd say that was about 2 weeks, and then we probably did about another 2 weeks worth of back and forward to and from America on a few different occasions. So
a story within a story. When you make a film, it's Many people have said it's like giving birth. I'm not in that position, but it's a very difficult, laborious thing to do, making film. Do you have any funny, interesting, or weird and wacky stories about this film which we've just seen?
I had an injury because we had so much equipment going up. We had one of our sets was a very top floor on a building, and we carried all the stuff ourselves. And at the end of the day, I thought, is there something wrong with me? So, and I had to do they had to do an operation because I was injured so bad. So, and I think 3 days later we had to shoot again. So I was like only sitting around and have people do everything for me because I was completely unable to walk and.
Not long after we'd finished the documentary side of the film, within, I don't know exactly, but within a week or so, Rick passed away. And I was speaking to his partner, Lynn, not long after that, and she said that he'd hung on to finish the film, which blew me away, really, to be honest, because it's such an important responsibility that gave me to make sure that we finished it. We were always going to finish it, and that was the biggest challenge. But yeah, he literally, she believed that he'd hung on just so he could finish it. And when we got Rick and Irving together for the last time, that was the last time they were together, and that was when we finished that side of the film. So I think that's quite a powerful side story to it all, really.
Life is all about learning lessons, and as an independent filmmaker, I think that we've been beaten up and we've learned a lot of lessons, and we understand that nothing comes easily. Do you have any lessons that you've learned through this film that you'd like to share with us?
I don't think I can pinpoint one lesson. It's everything, the whole process, and the way you. I think the way you focus on shooting, you think, next time I really need to focus more on this, and have other people maybe take care of something. Don't do everything yourself. I think that's also something with.
What I understood, it's if something bothers you, you can try do it, not be afraid, and do it, and try it, discuss and analyze what you bothered.
I mean, first of all, just the fact that we shot in 35 was the first time I'd shot in 35. So that was a massive lesson for me, just in every sense, technically and just workflow, the whole lot. And then I'd say another thing. The biggest lesson, though, I'd say was sticking to the vision of the film, because we were finding it so hard to get funding, you do start to doubt yourself, I suppose, and think, what, is there something wrong with the script? Is something wrong with the treatment? Do I need to redo this? Do I need to change the actual premise? Is the vision just off kilter, maybe? But I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. I stuck at it.
You're competing with dozens of other filmmakers here, and at the ÉCU, the European Independent Film Festival. Tell us, how do you feel about that?
Maybe especially because I'm not competitive in my nature, but it's part of filmmaking. So maybe the nervous part is that that there are so many good filmmakers, and especially in the independent scene, because they are not recognized lots of times.
Grateful, and thank you for you invited us for this festival. I want to visit festival in Paris, and I feel nervous, but for me it's important that our film people can watch.
I feel honoured. I feel excited. I'm a bit nervous, yeah, but to be honest, I'm just so happy that the film is in such a prestigious festival, and it's just exciting to go up against other filmmakers in the competition. You know, it really excites me. So it's just a huge honour, and I know as well that Rick and Irv, who are no longer with us, I know that they would just be absolutely thrilled, over the moon, if they were still here. And it's, I feel like I've done them justice, to be honest with you. That's the biggest thing for me. I feel like I've done them justice by finishing the film and doing it right. But yeah, to be in this festival, it's just amazing, and it's an absolute honour.